Large-scale land-based investments across Africa constitute a major source of investment for the continent and an opportunity for individual member states to utilize their most abundant resource in order to gain crucial foreign exchange and funding for rural and urban development projects. From investments in major agricultural projects to developments in water-based and large-scale mining activities, Africa's most abundant resource has the potential to accelerate the development of the continent and transform the lives of individual communities. But what exactly are some of the issues around large-scale land-based investments?
At the beginning, there was this push to invite foreign investors or even domestic investors, thinking that you're going to make a lot of money out of it and foreign exchange. And governments realized that was not the case. They might have given out a lot of land, but they were not getting as much as they thought they would. A lot of it was not coming under production. So for that reason, some governments actually went back and started looking at the question, started taking some of the, renegotiating again to get some of the land back. Sometimes the lack of openness is out of fear, but we are working closely with them because there's a lot of, how you engage with the media. And when you put out your data out there, how is it going to be used? So I think it comes from both sides and trying to work both with the media and with the government as partners in this, so that we're pushing each other towards a more responsible way of governing our large-scale land-based investments. But on the other hand, we are supporting governments to be more transparent about it.
The scope of land-based investments across the continent is vast, with African investors and multinational companies playing a major role in a multitude of sectors.
In Malawi, we have the natural resources like Lake Malawi, the natural water resource, which is good for a sugarcane plant and good for any other plant. So and the abundant land availability with good quality.
Le potentiel est là et il faut une vraie politique nationale de développement agricole à Madagascar. Il faut de plus en plus que l'administration travaille de près avec le secteur privé et retienne les propositions du secteur privé. Il n'y a pas d'avenir sans le secteur privé, il n'y aura pas de croissance économique sans le secteur privé.
The idea is to secure land, that's the first. And those investors, these foreign investors, can help also the local population to secure their land. The strategy of the government is first secure the land of the local population and then secure the foreign investors. So it can be done in parallel.
Large-scale land-based investments in Africa, however, do not come without their fair share of controversy. Allegations of corruption and the lack of access to equitable profitable sharing mechanisms are common concerns voiced among land stakeholders and local communities. In some countries, deep-seated resentments have classified this phenomenon as land grabbing.
When we started looking at this issue in 2010, I would say, when we had our first dialogues on the issue of large-scale land-based investments, for instance, this came out of a time when the land grab question was being raised by the media, and the African governments and their stakeholders sat in Nairobi, endorsed what we call the Nairobi Action Plan in 2011, for instance, to look at how do we govern our large-scale land-based investments. We as a LPI were tasked with conducting some studies, and we developed the guiding principles on large-scale land-based investments. So I think it comes from both sides and trying to work both with the media and with the government as partners in this, so that we're pushing each other towards a more responsible way of governing our large-scale land-based investments. But on the other hand, we are supporting governments to be more transparent about it.
With many countries on the continent inheriting colonial laws relating to land tenure, reform is a key attribute to preventing internal disputes and giving investors peace of mind.
A lot of our countries haven't really done a good job in terms of demarcating the land, delineating boundaries. So it becomes even difficult to start if you don't even have that kind of a data to even start again collecting the right kind of data. So we haven't moved along. Some countries are moving, in that direction. I think Rwanda can be a case where, because they have moved in terms of documenting rights, putting the right boundaries in terms of survey, we can move towards then having a land database.
Right now we work with cooperatives for the people. When you have to develop a marshland, for example, even if you are a foreigner and you want to invest in, for example, rice development, maize development, and vegetables, you can get from the state this land.
While the overhaul of land laws continues across the continent, from Madagascar, the DRC, Rwanda, and Ivory Coast, the African Land Policy Centre is working with countries on land reform initiatives in order that Africa's land resource can reap the dividends it so deserves for all our citizens.